Testing mic 1 2, testing mic 1 2. Round 10 action here at Petty's Reserve. My name is Adam Palombi and I'm pleasured to be joining you on the broadcast this afternoon as Manningham United look to host Hume City in what's set to be a captivating contest. Two attacking outlets. Beautiful. Lovely. Sounds good with the headset. Do this headset. $300, mate. So expensive. Oh, beautiful. That's what I want to hear. Good afternoon and welcome, NPL fans. My name is Adam Palombi and I'm pleasured to be joining you this afternoon on the broadcast for this 10th round fixture between Manningham United and Hume City. Of course, the fixture between the reserve sides had culminated before the start of the seniors, with the home side storming home with a victory, 7-1 on that occasion. So had a few goals already on display so far for those here at Petty's Reserve. As we look to bring you the lineups for the home side. Samanaris is in goal. Volgaris and Tavella are your fullbacks, with a centre-back partnership of Rise and Owen Dufton. Two brothers with a lot of chemistry amongst the defensive half. Georgakopoulos, Kata and Harding are in the centre of the park, with Ramirez as the central attacking midfielder. And in attack finally, Theodorakopoulos and Everson look to continue upon their fine form displayed from last week. That one's been thumped long, Theodorakopoulos. Greeted by Duggan, isolated was Christos, but he's earned possession for the Blues. As for the away side today, they were kept scoreless last week at home to Dandenong City. And they line up today with Jackson Riley in goal, Markaching and Ria, the full-back partnership. The centre-back partnership consists of Ashcroft and Maricic. Duggan, Carlson and O'Kane in the centre of the park. Josh Bingham, Lloyd Isgrove and Amar Abdallah, the attacking outlets for the side in red today. It's Carlson, a bit overzealous. You can see it of the free kick. Such a beautiful playing surface here at Petty's Reserve. The synthetic grass certainly going to make things easy in terms of the quickness about the ball and the fluidity around the play. As Theodorakopoulos might be thinking about this one. He dispatches towards goal, only hitting the wall, which allowed for Riley to claim. He was called upon last week, Jackson Riley, to keep a clean sheet in the dying embers of that contest at the Hume City Stadium, where Achinga was caught in possession. All the Hume players had flooded forward to try win the match. It was Dandy City's Sebastian Hernando who paced forward, applied some pressure to Aching, earned possession. And once Hernando was in on goal, he let it roll for Iconis, who just couldn't find the two big sticks, or see the net bulge. Jackson Riley was called upon. It was his opposing goalkeeper last week, and John Hall, who was the featured in the team of the week for round 9. Theodorakopoulos early on for the Blues. It's gotten things moving. Tavella pushed up nice and high. Edge of the area. Christos was amongst it. Pass was intended for Ramirez, but Carlson cleaning things up. Isgrove now. Bingham making a run ahead of him. And well cleaned up in the defensive half from Manningham. So they look to shift forward. Riley came off his line. He sensed the attack that was occurring and done well there, the Hume goalkeeper. Just snuffing out the danger momentarily. Two brothers just trying to get things moving further up the park. Stuffed it. Lofted that one towards the interchange. Benches rather. So Manningham trying to hold some territory. Had a fruitful win last week away from home at CB Smith Reserve. 4-1 that scoreline was. With their double in attack, both netting a brace. Everson and Theokorodopoulos nearly finding hat-tricks, found a brace between the two, which I feel the manager of Manningham got to be wrapped with that outcome. Of course, at Petty's Reserve, we cast our minds back to when they knocked off Avondale, and which was the upset you could even make of the season so far, beating La Familia 3-0. When Pryor came against the Denny Thunder at the start of the season. So 3 wins so far for the Blues to speak of, as Everson skipped around. A few Hume City shirts say cheer for a penalty. He might have been impeded. The official certainly didn't think so. The claims are animated from the side in blue, who have started fruitfully here. The Dufton brothers pushing further up off of their defensive line. They want to try and make things work. As Hume unable to just really get some passes moving. They've had to withstand the pressure from the home side. Everson, clever to get away from Carlson momentarily. And does brilliantly to get around O'Kane. He might settle up for the shot. He dispatches. Thankfully the net prevents that from going to the car park. So a 4-4-2 shape today for the home side. The West side like to play with a false 9 type operation of Bingham, who comes short to make the space. He's trying to find something of his own there. Samanaris cleans up nicely through Tavella. As they distribute out wide, Ramirez working the channels. Kata couldn't trap. Acheen composed and recycles through McFarlane, who takes a tumble. Mario Abdallah, player of the month. 6 goals for the season. Another threat he possesses. O'Kane trying to pick out Bingham. I get a second chance to do it all over again. Unorthodox attempt of a clearance. But now Hume looking for a spell of their own. There's Duggan. O'Kane to Carlson. Isgrove. Always so dangerous, Lloyd Isgrove. 6 goals for the season. Influential player for Hume. He's made it work on the edge of the box. Here's Weir. Lofts towards the back post. Abdallah the target to Vella. Had to head away to safety, but City have a corner. Last week the deliveries from Abdallah weren't of his best by his own standards. As that one, fine delivery it was this time. Keeper had to intervene. Isgrove trapped nicely and went towards goal. Isgrove, and at the back post, Maricic perhaps couldn't read it in time. A lot more intent with the crosses so far from Abdallah and company. They have another one to take. Whipped in centrally once more. Keeper fisting away. Aching confronted by the pressure of Everson. He evades nicely. Abdallah now. As Savala considering what to do. Aching trying to go through him. Third corner for the away side. Already imposing a threat via his deliveries. Abdallah. Centrally once more. No one's dealt with that until it's finally cleared by the Blues. It was thrown into that tumble drier area. And for a moment, it looked there to be stolen. As Riley picks at Abdallah brilliantly, who controls. He has time and space. Abdallah. He's there with Savala. He keeps going. Isgrove let it roll for Carlson. Has to make up some ground. Kata getting there ahead of the Swede. And spreads nicely, so the Blues perhaps have a chance on the counter-attack. They venture forward. Everson confronted by Aching. The referee just showcasing the number 9 to get up. Was the gesture from the official. Looks as if Aching might have had him by the scruff of the neck in that play. As meanwhile, Hume ventured forward so they can conjure up. Fast pace already about this one. As Isgrove went to Abdallah, who dispatches a shot. Abdallah, the crossbar rattling. Don't blink when he's in possession. And the scoring was so close to being opened. Bar a deflection on the way in. It will be a corner. But they're looking to play with intent today, Hume. As disclosed via their social media page. Buzz Duggan had a fair bit to say following last week's game, claiming that luck was not on their side in securing the 3 points. And the severity of trying to get the points on offer here today to keep themselves alive in the total race. Abdallah. Dufton won the header. Isgrove tried something cute, but Samanaris was equal to it. Sunlight just beaming down upon us here in Old Templestowe. Fine conditions for football, not really a wind or a breeze to discuss. Nice little build up also at Petty's Reserve. For their senior clash, that one's been cleared by Dufton. No nonsense defending from him. The referee today is Michael Mammis, with Vince, Vince Turakulo and Daniel Papadakis as the assistant referees. The fourth official is Daniel Isaac, a synonymous official in his own right. As Isgrove couldn't trap it. Kata. Isgrove trying to earn it back. Manningham will be content with the throw. In between region of their goalkeeper byline and the halfway line. Trying to get things moving was ball still in dispute in the middle of the park. As Duggan trying to use his physicality. Spreading wide was Theodorakopoulos. Aching, intelligent. Bouncing with Abdallah, who's making a forward run. And he's onside, Amar Abdallah. Bingham jostling to make up ground in the centre of the box as Abdallah skipped around a couple, went towards goal. Bingham couldn't settle his feet. He shoots off the spin But Samanaris, tall once more. And he's just trying to get the message across to his defenders to get a little bit perhaps tighter on Amar Abdallah. Of course, they do have attacking options on the bench. The away side, Michael Platt. 2 goals so far for the season, 7 appearances. Made his debut against the Port Melbourne Sharks. As the Blues venture forward. Once more, a Ching routine in his defensive duties. And for the meantime, has kept his counterpart at bay. Versing the target. McFarlane just happy to head away. Zisgrove kept it alive somehow and drew the foul. Hume trying to manufacture something forward. The pass from Ashcroft, not something of his usual quality. The official just trying to organise the positioning of Tavalla, who travels down the line. Harding. Won the initial header off a Ching, who's now in possession, has a glance, has time. Abdallah made the run forward, and Ching never dispatched the ball. Harding hadn't impeded a Ching, much to his dismay, disagreeance rather. Hume throw. It's well known that Isgrove loves to move around the pitch to try generate forward movement for Hume. He's very deep at the moment. Abdallah couldn't trap. Tavalla and Harding there to apply some pressure. Manningham now sitting rather deep as Dagan spreading wide. McFarlane. Haven't seen Lachlan Weir today. As it travels all the way back to Amar Abdallah. Samanaris, yet again, being called upon. And I do want to rectify a mistake made. Lachlan Weir was awarded the yellow card last week. Therefore, that's his 5th suspension of the season. 5th card of the season, so he has missed today's game through suspension. As McFarlane in his left-back position. Acquiring it for the meantime. Who's intervened there? Bingham had Isgrove as an option. As was O'Kane, who got the bounce. Couldn't find Abdallah. As Harding, intelligent. Just deflecting the ball off Abdallah. Getting possession back for the home side. Been rather free-flowing so far. Hume now pushing up, of course. Initially it began with the home side holding a high line. Hume happy to try settle in. Of course, last week they were kept at bay by the brilliant goalkeeping of John Hall for Dandy City. They have another chance through Bingham. Samanaris once again not called upon, but was attentively watching that one as it travelled towards his bottom right corner, which is left on your screen. So the away side registering some chances so far. Of course, the Wedgie is for penalty on 2 occasions from Verson. Referee Manis thought nothing doing. This is where they seem to not have the cohesion thereafter, the Blues. When they kick it long, the midfielders have to get busy in the engine room to try and generate some of their own movement. As Ashcroft yet again just tried to switch the play and unlock McFarlane, couldn't do so. Here's Ramirez, confronted by Carlson. Ramirez trying something clever, forcing a Hume clearance. Deep Manningham throw in. Verson making some space. Theodorakopoulos also in the centre. Haven't seen too much from him so far. Of course, had a free kick opportunity in which he hadn't caught properly at all. So Riley yet to really be tested. Of course, Riley coming in to play after a month also of football being played for the men's senior side. Aaron Arslan was in goal. Bit of defensive confusion perhaps. Samanaris went up and high and off the broadcast momentarily. Aching in a wrestle with Hardy. Aching generated a clearance. The ball bounces towards those in the clubhouse. Being informed just in the pre-game in regards to the Blues and their developments further up the road from where we currently are today. They're opening up some new facilities. Five new, perhaps, pitches to be installed. Taken off the word of their security guard. As they want to venture toward Ramirez, threads it on for Harding. There could be a chance. Harding's still in here. Riley called upon. There he was yet again, and danger might not be averted. Everson confronted, spins away onto his left boot as Everson. The back post crying out for someone to be there. The fans certainly thought the net was going to ripple. As Bozdagan still remains looking worse for wear. Hume attending to him, but the home side nearly breaking the deadlock. Their number 9 looking rather dangerous today when he has had those half chances. Has abundance of composure. Ben Everson, 37 years of age. From Middlesbrough. He's played his fair share of football over the years. Throughout all parts of the globe. Of course, having stints in America with the El Paso Patriots back in 2008. Featured for York City. Had stints in Iceland also. He was at Dante City for a while. So experience and youth in the final thirds for Manningham. Perhaps a passing of the torch from their number 9 Ben Everson to Christos. As Riley opted to go long. Dufton just winning the aerial duels for the moment. Georgakopoulos got around it. Here goes Theodorakopoulos, who hasn't had much pressure. He winds up the shot, Theodorakopoulos. Central, the ball travelled, and Riley opted to palm away. It's the home side with the corner. "27 minutes played. As Dufton is in the centre, along with Everson, and a fine amount of blue shirts. As it's smashed towards the central region of the box, and no blue shirts there to greet. The ball's flung in, slipping on the ball forward, and getting away with that one was Karacic. Okay now, in the engine room getting busy, took some stopping, Ramirez does well. Theodorakopoulos couldn't trap. Okay, and on to Abdallah, who skips around Tavalla. And here goes Amar Abdallah, some space opening up for him, trying to get round Dufton, who uses his strength brilliantly there to just bully Amar off the ball. They want to transition quickly. Harding was the target. He controls. He might be in here, Harding. And yet again, Riley being called upon. More proactive in midfield, Manningham have become. Their engine room definitely coming to life. And Rob Harding having a couple of chances now, the number 11. As that ball trying to pick out Olgaris from Georgakopoulos. As Abdallah has gotten the better of Tavalla early on in this one. Tried to go through his gates. And Dufton via that deflection. Cleared momentarily. Aching couldn't go around Theodorakopoulos, who now wants to travel in his own right. Everson lurking ahead of him. Ball pinballing everywhere, but it will remain alive. Everson. His shirt might have been pulled. The home fans certainly thought so. Got round O'Kane nicely. Chance here for Manningham, perhaps. As O'Kane got stuck in, bit of a wrestle off the ball with Oching and Theodorakopoulos. WrestleMania, of course, was a few weeks ago now. And unsure if that's being heard or not on the ambience audio. The home fans certainly having their fair share to say. Fine piece of individual ability showcased by Everson until the foul was drawn for Hume. Bingham was the target. Dufton had to be sure, and was. He went towards Harding, who headed into the path of Apostolakis. Abdallah rekindling, couldn't get that wide. Cut up, intercepted nicely. Dufton. It's over trying to find a Verson. Maricic rather. Routinely recycling to his keeper. So the momentum shifting ever so slightly it was, but what a fundamental mistake from City. Jackson Riley, it's a gift for Christos Theodorakopoulos, who applied the pressure and opened the scoring following a goalkeeper calamity. And the home side, well, they're loving that. Just as I was about to mention the shift in momentum, that's gone all out the window. 1-0 to the home side. The home fans beside me certainly happy with the passion and effort on display from Christos, who earned something really from nothing. Goal number 6 for the season. Equaling the tally, of course, of this man Abdallah and Isgrove. So fine display from the young striker. And you can tell by the celebrations, Theodorakopoulos certainly plays with his heart on his sleeve. Was very ecstatic to have found the net, and rightfully so. Manningham showcasing perhaps what they can do against very decent opposition. Of course, Hume with a victory today be placed in third. So far, they're a goal behind. They haven't drawn this season, Manningham. It's only wins and losses. And so far, they've weathered the attacking storm and found a goal of their own. I suppose Duggan and Ching couldn't register. They look as if they want to continue the spell they're having. The Blues. Tavella onto the chest of a Verson. As Duggan momentarily got a clearance away. Carlson, a little bit of pressure, which was weathered by Ashcroft, who measured that to Bingham. Reese. Dufton came across. Of course, look at the size differentiation between Dufton and Bingham. Tall, imposing player the Hume City captain is. Doesn't exactly... He's not notoriously known for his goal-scoring ability. It's more his general hold-up and link-up play, which has allowed for Abdallah and Isgrove to run into pockets of space, as some has opened up for Aching. Bingham at the back post. Aching went first time. All for him to do it again via a throw-in. Takes no time. Abdallah. Now Hume going to try push up and potentially find an equalizer. But as for Bingham, has that hold up type roll to this side, reminiscent almost of Emile Heskey or Olivier Giroud. As City have another corner. Was Duggan lurking short. Dufton and Tavella cutting off that option, so Abdallah gesturing that he might want to take it short. But opts to swing it in. He does so. It's a fine delivery. Dufton heading away. Aching has a lot of time. And he thought about taking it on. Aching, ball bouncing towards the box. Carlson trapped momentarily. Put his head down to continue the chase. But Samanaris happy to send that upfield. A Fell into the path of Ramirez. It was held by McFarlane. Referee thought nothing doing. And here goes City. Abdallah has abundance of space. He receives. Confronted by Tavella. Amar Abdallah taking a tumble, but dispatching the shot he was. Just couldn't keep it low. You can almost feel the threat. Almost feel the tension each time Abdallah is in possession. The blue shirts tend to flock towards him to try shut him down. Momentum in that move, perhaps subsiding when he had not got his feet right. So 10 odd minutes remaining in this first half. Harding wins the header. Katter. Carlson was there to confront him, and Katter does very well and got away the whole engine room of City. He went to Harding. Everson trying to cut in onto his right boot. Might remain alive. The referee in prominent position to acknowledge the foul. Everson didn't seem too pleased with that. No whistle to be blown. The net more than likely would have bulged. As Riley thumped along. Cut up. No contest with the header. And Harding. And a bounce off Abdallah. So another Manningham possession. Coppolis signified he wanted it on the chest. Tavella went down the line. Bingham back to Abdallah. Dufton coming across. Abdallah couldn't go around him. The linesman putting his flag up. Abdallah remains on the synthetic. Looking a little bit worse for wear, Amar. Change, having a discussion with Manis. Looks like nothing sinister. Abdallah slow to get back up. So not too far away from half-time. Hume City trailing, courtesy of a Theodorakopoulos firm press, which carved out the chance, which ricocheted off of Theodorakopoulos into Jackson Riley's net for 1-0. But Abdallah in the sunshine has a free kick on the edge of the box. He swings in towards the back post. Bingham with the header, but not with the results he was after. And those around the clubhouse today potentially getting a late April tan. Sun is nice and strong out here. Duggan found Abdallah, who went very high and not very handsome towards Isgrove, who has a bit of time and space. Isgrove went towards goal. He barely had time to really think about it, with the effort not catching Samanaris off guard. post-half time. We'll bring you some results around the grounds to see what's occurring across the competition. As Ashcroft got up momentarily, Harding had stolen back from Ashcroft, who wanted to go to Bingham. Harding confronting Bingham and winning possession. Tavalla couldn't go around O'Kane. As Ashcroft just miscuing, but it might still work, and it has done. Bulgaris made up the ground. Theodorakopoulos tried to release Ramirez. Ashcroft only as far as Bulgaris. He couldn't go around McFarlane. O'Kane away from Carter. Ball went behind Abdallah, but O'Kane continued to make up some ground. Abdallah went to Bingham. Isgrove making up some space. And Bingham wanted to dispatch via the shot. It was a bouncing effort. Routine for Samanaris. Bingham flicked it on Abdallah, applying some pressure. Tavalla back to his keeper, and they work it out nicely. The Blues. Theodorakopoulos getting high, as was Aching. Question marks surrounding how much stoppage time might be in this first half. Not really any stoppages to talk of. As Isgrove. Cross deflected on its way in. O'Kane. Theodorakopoulos head of the way. O'Kane continued. As Everson controlled. Ashcroft using his size. Earned back possession. Isgrove. Fine pass to Buzdagan. They settle in their forward half. Now Hume, as Aching wanted to go incisive pass to Abdallah. Just couldn't find him. The Sharks, of course, playing Green Gully today at Green Gully Reserve. That one kicked off at 1 o'clock. Still awaiting some results to load and see what's occurred there. That contest had ended with an away victory for the Sharks. They won 2-1. Of course, Luca Taveri got the equaliser on the cusp of half-time. Although Port came home with the points. As Bingham controlled. Theodorakopoulos getting in the way of Dufton. They had a bit of a chat, but they got there in the end. And Samanaris bombed forward. Everson gingerly getting back to his position. Abdallah trying to go around. Tavalla, home side happy with Marco. Whose efforts on Abdallah went rewarded. He earned possession back. Daniel Isaac puts the board up for 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Is there enough time perhaps for their second? The home side might push the envelope here. Everson off his chest. Abdallah calling the foul. Much to the amusement of the home side. Abdallah has had his fair share of firm tackles this afternoon already. Gets back to his feet. As a Ching. Hume players not really pushing up. The Ching went long to Bingham. Both Dufton brothers there to greet the captain. Abdallah sliding in. Okay, here's Abdallah. Went towards the central region of the box. Nobody home for him. And now it might open up on the counter-attack. Carter had Ramirez making a forward run. Carter continued and received back from Ramirez. Maricic just intervening. He was off to the races there. Wanted to keep going. O'Kane couldn't get busy. Georgakopoulos amongst it. Does it feel like this half only has a couple of seconds left in it? The official hasn't looked towards his watch. He does now. Is there one last play perhaps? Was Duggan to a Ching. You can see his possession as the half-time whistle sounds. And the home side, they're not complaining. They lead via the pressure of their number 10, Christos Theodorakopoulos, who broke the deadlock following some pressure on Jackson Riley's goal. So half-time here at Petty's Reserve. We'll cross to a short commercial break. Stay with us for the second half. as the second half of football has begun. The away side currently trailing. Petty's reserve had come alight, and Theodorakopoulos bundled in from close range following the mistake from Jackson Riley. You wonder how Hume are going to come out the blocks. Of course, they had dismissed their coach, Cameron Watson. Is David Chick's fourth odd game in charge. So you'll wonder what moves are going to make at half time. Platt has entered the fray, the number 9. On the edge of the boxes, he has found possession. Platt, Bingham, bouncing. Isgrove made up all the ground and space. Dufton was there to intervene. It looks as if Boz Duggan has been substituted off, with Michael Platt replacing him. Of course, having 10 years across England, he was a Queen's Park Rangers youth player at one stage. The boy from London, who's already causing Samanara some problems. Abdallah went nice and high towards the back post. Isgrove climbing to no effect. So change of shape from the away side. Platt leading the line along with Bingham. Almost a flat 4, you could say, in attack. It's most likely you'll see Bingham play a more creative role. Has scored twice this season for City on the spot and from general play. It was against Port Melbourne Sharks, where he nearly pulled off something miraculous. Abdallah and Platt had just combined in such a way, so silky smooth in terms of skill. So you wonder what he can provide here for City today. As the Blues are pushing up nice and high, they're happy with this spell of possession. Dufton dropped the shoulder to get away from Platt with the fresh legs. He's looking to apply some pressure of his own. Samanaris. You mentioned the engine room coming to life. It certainly did for Manningham. It's a brilliant ball over the top from Georgakopoulos. We found a Versa to Vella. It was Harding initially with the control. Everson was in the centre. This is the corner end. City had their fair share of them in the first half. Now United have one. Early in the second. Corner taken quickly. Everson. Aching. Quick to earn possession back. Abdallah, the only forward option. He was confronted with Christos. McFarlane earned it back as Platt. And McFarlane searching forward. And Manningham's shirt remains on the deck near Jackson Riley. As Platt continued his run. The cross, you couldn't even call it a cross. Don't know what you'd call that. Platt hitting the stadium net post, you could say. As Kata looks like he's going to be checked up on. He's back up on his feet, the number 6. As Samanaris has a goal kick. Ashcroft heading away. Dufton not sending forward as he presumably would have liked to. Carlson got it moving. Here's Fletcher McFarlane. You can see the bodies get behind the ball. Intelligent from the home side to nullify the threats of City's wide players. Aching, here's Abdallah. They backpedal, Abdallah kept going. Backheel to Aching, who lost out to Holding. He's having a decent game so far today. Harding, rather. Winning those balls in the air as Platt had an option. Isolated himself momentarily. Abdallah from Aching. Abdallah wound up towards goal. The effort pretty tame. And if you look at last night's results, Heidelberg got the job done against a very valiant Moreland City side. 3-2 that final score. At Olympic Village, that kicked off round 10. South Melbourne comprehensive against Dandy City. 4-0 winners away from home at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. As the Cannons at Jack Edwards Reserve were eventual winners over St Albans by 3-2. Of course, later in the round we have the Altona Magic face off against Melbourne Knights at Paisley Park up in Altona. And finally, at George Andrews Reserve, Dandy Thunder look to take on Avondale. We are continuing to apply pressure on the undefeated South Melbourne side, who sit at the top of the table. Of course, Harrison Sawyer, the top goal scorer across the league on 10 goals now, had a hat-trick last night. Might have to just double-check on that one, as Carlson went to Platt. Platt tried flicking back towards Oscar, couldn't do so. McFarlane, intelligent foul. Play continued as the official has to settle these two gentlemen down for the meantime. McFarlane was looking for the foul. Theodorakopoulos had a fair bit to say as Platt removes his undershirt. And confirmation on last night's result. It was a Sawyer hat-trick. Meanwhile, Hume not able to register an attacking move that they'd be content with. That cross from Bingham into the keeper's grasp as Cutter went on a brilliant run, and it nearly opened up as Harding just couldn't apply pressure where it mattered. But United win it deep. Here's a Verson. Carlson to the chin there to greet him. And composed and drawing the foul was okay. Abundance of composure surrounds Hume's number 21. Become a focal point in the engine room this season. Although not imposing in terms of stature, certainly possesses the vision and craftsmanship required to be at the heart of midfield. Abdallah coming more central. Gets around Theodorakopoulos. Kept his move going. Bingham had Platt ahead of him. And Platt's stroke towards goal. The deflection forces a corner. Carlson the short option. Abdallah wants to swing it in. Central region it goes. Dufton head of the way. As Ramirez got stuck in, but Carlson is there with Abdallah. Carlson low cross this time. Dufton happy to clear. Right near the corner flag for a Hume City throw. Carlson worked at a chink. Might open up here. O'Kane had an attempt. Isgrove now. Chipping cross, trying to find Platt, who climbs back up to get it back to Isgrove. He went towards the back posts. Unable to clear their lines. Ching has a chance. Off the bar it goes. It's set up for Markachine. And he was close to finding the equaliser. Samanaris, he was not going to stop that. He was happy to see his posts intervene instead. Samanaris got that one up and high. Ramirez, O'Kane, Bingham bouncing off him and getting the ball. Abdallah ahead of him, chip pass. Dufton intervening, ball bouncing, they clear. Maricic had time as McFarlane occupying Weir's left back position. Sheen won the header. Abdallah. His pass going nowhere, he's drawn the foul. Owen Dufton with the header. There's a bouncing ball and some pressure being applied by the 37-year-old Everson. As Maricic hadn't read the initial bounce adequately enough. That's where it hasn't worked today for Hume. Their transitional efforts when they get further up the pitch. United nullifying any fruitful display of possession by having players drop behind the ball. So far, they've capitalised upon the away side's mistakes. And you could argue in the driving seat of this contest. Georgakopoulos, Lofty. In the centre they queued up, no one dealing with it momentarily until McFarlane had. Ramirez traps nicely. Hardy found Everson. They wanted to get the shot away. And the ricochet bouncing all the way back to Platt. Now Isgrove has options. Takes a tumble on the synthetic. Bingham took over. Here comes City. Bingham not renowned for pace, he crosses. They call for a handball. No nonsense clearance from Manningham, and it might open up now at the other end. Catter. Everson's onside. Karacic there with him. The flag's gone up. Would have been a very tight call. Looked as if Everson might have been on. The official certainly has the better understanding of what we might hear on commentary. His flag was quick to go up. So game definitely wide open. Isgrove, well, if he had kept his feet, a Hume City fan, I'm sure you can paint the picture at home and what potentially he could have done. He's in possession now. Short pass to Platt. The Englishman combining. McFarlane. McCain jostles nicely and kept possession. Abdallah cheating around him. Quick clearance, striking the head of one of David Chick's assistants on the bench. I'm not sure if that was visible at home. Sat there unfazed. So full credit to the Hume official. Is that ball forward, culminating to anything? Verson. Maricic today hasn't exactly read the bounces on every occasion correctly. Very tall, imposing player. Rough estimate, 6'5", 6'6" region for the Hume centre back as Platt has been picked out. He could be in behind. Dufton had the task to keep him at bay. Platt nearly kept going. But Sabanaris made up for that space by claiming. Sun still gleaming down on Petty's reserve as Abdallah had some space. Couldn't go around Dufton. He's been rock solid today. This is where David Chick has to find some resolve. Hasn't gone according to the script of the away side, who are chasing the top end of the table. Currently sat in 5th, although, as aforementioned, a win here today would put them in 3rd. Of course, they've remained 3rd if they were to win and Avondale were to lose. So far, their position here would still remain the same. It would mean for the home side, they would catapult into 8th place, although the Melbourne Knights fixture from last night hasn't updated yet. They still have to play Melbourne Knights, rather. So ladder for the meantime still dependent on other results. Meanwhile, Manningham 30 odd minutes away from their 4th win of the season, as Bingham had Abdallah ahead of him. Here is Amar. Being confronted by some pressure from Theodorakopoulos. Tavalla done well momentarily. Now some space for Abdallah. Chance opening up here. Big save by Samanaris in goal. Is at a comfortable height for the keeper, but he was equal to the Abdallah task. McFarlane went very deep. Bingham's there to bundle. Platt getting in the way. Let off perhaps for United. Using the body nicely was Everson. And he awaits for the cavalry. He's now trying to get past Acheen. Verson with the ball roll of his own. He gets it back. Smart play from the veteran corner kick, Manningham. What it would mean to the home side if they were to double their advantage. They do have a corner, whipped in towards the back post. Climbing to keep it alive was Vulgaris. As the clearance found Isgrove. Theodorakopoulos using his strength. Earns it back, slipped upon the pass. Ramirez was out wide. He's the target. Of course, he was involved in that Avondale victory. He was on the score sheet that day. He might have sealed the 3 points with the third goal, in accordance to the game day information. As Everson, intelligent play, he's waiting for some troops. He's had to go very deep. He's done well to keep possession. Georgakopoulos, a recycle through Dufton. Vulgaris. It's a great ball from Vulgaris. Harding was the target. United looking promising. Kata. Georgakopoulos keeps it alive. Tried going round McFarlane. Couldn't do so. Carlson clear towards Platt. Bingham received. Abdallah spinning from Tavella. Harding puts in a firm tackle. Bit of a hip and shoulder about that one also. He made up a lot of ground to prevent Abdallah from travelling forward. So yellow card has been issued for his troubles. Hume impatient to get this one underway. Carlson went first time to Abdallah, couldn't trap. Georgakopoulos lofting to no avail. Abundance of time in this contest for anything to occur. Isgrove pushing up high, the flag staying down. Here goes Lloyd. Kata and Vulgaris there to confront him as Isgrove, having got the better of Vulgaris on that occasion, he has a corner. Taken quickly. McFarlane, looping ball, not dealt with until Georgakopoulos had done so. Aching made it a task for Carlson, but Aching has pulled up. Lane. Mark Aching, perhaps upon making the pass, might have found some discomfort somewhere. So the trainer coming across to deal with him. The home side, along with the men holding the football, are keen to keep things moving. But Aching being dealt to by his medical staff. Allows both these sides to have a moment to gather themselves back and make a change, which have done so. Harding looks as if he's had his final spell of the day. He's resided to the bench. We'll have some confirmation shortly on who's replaced him. James Tuntus entering the fray. The number 12 makes his first appearance of the afternoon. Has some big shoes to fill. Harding been very decent today for the Blues in terms of winning headers around the ground and applying pressure. So that long pass is going to sit nicely for Platt. He's isolated, he awaits the reinforcements. Isgrove one of them. Went back towards Platt, Bingham in the box. Platt trying to go around a couple. Isgrove now. Wants to try and find some space for the shot. Isgrove deflection. Tsatsaris. Perhaps continuing with the tradition John Hall might have initiated last week against Hume. And that's, well, their opposing goalkeepers having blinders. And so far, he's living up to the task. As trying the audacious was Christos. He sensed Riley off his line, and Riley preventing a brace of mistakes. And a brace for Theodorakopoulos. Abdallah has been kept rather nullified today by the Blues. Platt hitting the turf. The Ching appears to be okay. The Ching switches nicely. Farland wants to get this moving quickly. The Blues believing it's their ball. The official had flagged as McFarlane went to okay. The ball bobbling up on the synthetic. He wasn't able to control. Ashcroft had it in space and drew the foul again. David Chick has his arms in the air. Of course, last week he set up at Hume City the massive gantry with the two coaches' areas below. Could hear everything Nick Tolios, the Dandy City manager, and David Chick had to say to each other. And from a neutral perspective, it was rather humorous. Maricic lofted. Platt. What can he provide to the occasion? He opens up some space for Abdallah, who wants to widen to his left boot. Abdallah! There is your equaliser. Hume City find their way through the defiant goal of Sitsaris. Who else but Amar Abdallah? He's crafted for those occasions. He grabs his 7th of the season. And the away side are back on level terms. Platt opening up the space nicely. And once Abdallah had shifted beyond his marker and onto his left boot, nothing Sitsaris could have done about that. Right into the bottom right corner. City coming to life. What can the Blues try provide on in response? Ashcroft just using his pace to get away from the veteran in Everson. Riley went long. Platt the target. Vulgaris playing with passion. They collide with the captain. They reach towards the back pocket. Vulgaris has been dismissed. His collision with Josh Bingham keeping the captain on the synthetic turf. They've called for the Hume City medical staff to treat the captain. He looks worse for wear. Vulgaris took a heavy first touch and paid the price by going in late with his studs up. Jackson Riley, you can overhear perhaps him saying, he's nearly killed him, ref. But Vulgaris has been dismissed. Michael Mattis, no nonsense from him. Wasn't necessarily anything sinister from Vulgaris, who's just overzealous and trying to win the ball. As it is good to see Bingham back up on his feet. But how quick was the official there to make the dismissal? And looking back upon it now, it is hard to tell. So Vulgaris takes a heavy touch. Bingham went into press. Vulgaris is extending to try and keep possession. Manus was quick to issue a red card, however. Perhaps a cloud of uncertainty surrounding that one. You can decide at home. But the official with the ultimate decision. And things have shifted here. The home side initially taken the lead in the first half. They're now a player short. And Hume are on level terms. Courtesy of Abdullah, who's in possession deep in the box. Platt turning, trying to get the shot away was Platt. Across the face of goal, bit of confusion. As Dufton for a moment just thought, where's this ball going to go? As a substitute trying to get stuck in. Carlson, overlap for Hume. Isgrove can pick out McFarlane or go his own. Instead he tried going incisive to Abdallah. I think perhaps before, just trying to retrace my own steps, I might have mistaken Samanaris with Tsitsaris. Of course, Tsitsaris is the number 12. Samanaris, the goalkeeper, with the goal kick. We wonder how the Blues are going to weather this storm. They are a player down. Everson still remains down. You want to continue things until Manus opted to stop things.
That's it. Don't top that. Don't top that, ref. He can't talk to you like that.
Yellow card issued to a frustrated Owen Dufton. The fans having their involvement. So the sun settling in the background, right where the light tower is. Unsure if we will see the lights be lit up upon Petty's reserve. Of course, still a bit of football left to be played. If you're a United supporter, you're hoping they can hold on. They are now without their number 9. That was his final piece of play for the afternoon. Trying to get some confirmation regarding the Manningham Blues substitute. We'll have that in a moment. As Isgrove wanted to keep going. Tsaris and Isgrove flapping gums. As Dufton initially had it away from Platt, who is it back in possession. His shot going nowhere. Abdallah not catching. And he's frustrated with that, Abdallah. So Ali Turgut, the number 33, replacing Ben Everson. 33 minutes played in this second half. This one coming nearly to its dying embers as Isgrove has some space. He's in behind Lloyd Isgrove. Is this a chance for Hume? The away side take the lead. 7 for the number 7 this season. Once Isgrove was in behind, it was nearly picturesque in what he was going to do. Platt has been influential. He's come on and changed the game. And City have turned this right around. They lead 2-1. What an acquisition Lloyd Isgrove has been for Hume City. Almost casual in the way he approaches it. So now the Blues chasing the game. Of course, at half-time it was the other way around. So although Hume having the lead, are there any changes to the drama? We enter the late stages of the contest. Still time for either side to perhaps, or for one side to continue their lead, or for the home side to perhaps find an equaliser. However, the side in red looking in control at the moment. They have the extra player. As Maricic was happy to just put leather to ball. You can hear the cries down below from Hume, opting to get further up the pitch. Samanaris. Kata took a rather heavy fall to the ground, having won the header. Had to climb to reach it off McFarlane. Ball thoroughly in dispute. Georgakopoulos trying to find a teammate. Got around a couple of Hume City shirts. Ali Turgent. Central. Trying to withstand the pressure. They look towards the official. Platt with no foul. Play resumed. The number 9 today for Hume. And very impressive. They're trying a press of their own on the keeper. Dufton lofted. Nobody home. And Jackson Riley was pressed up on and scored against in the first half in that fashion. As Platt went over the top, Abdallah into some space. City with another chance. Abdallah with some step overs, went towards his keeper and off the bar. And once he starts feeling it, he certainly puts on a show. The bar intervening for his second this afternoon. Grove coming all the way back to not allow Kata to continue forward. Georgakopoulos, and as far as Abdallah, who's picked out Platt superbly. Michael Platt has Dufton to beat. Reese comes across. Owen perhaps holding him. As Platt got a bit excited trying to earn back possession. It was a fantastic pass from Abdallah to pick him out. Kata intelligent. Georgakopoulos. Brilliantly done. And there might be a chance for Christos. Ball ricocheting. Now Isgrove. Abdallah making a run forward. Platt slowly jostling also. Isgrove unable to pick out anybody. Georgakopoulos looked as if once it sat up for him at the other end, he might have bothered Jackson Riley. The block not allowing anything to occur for Manningham. It deflected kindly to the path of Isgrove, who couldn't direct that into the path of Abdallah. Turgis over the top. The flag stayed down. And there's a chance here perhaps for the home side. Isolated was the substitute. Georgakopoulos has a throw in. Confusion surrounding the throw in. But it will be a red throw in. Tsaris, well, might have been in behind there. The touch would have kept him on side. It's Platt. Bingham. Searching pass to Abdallah. It's going to work somehow. Platt in the centre, as is Isgrove at the back post. Abdallah found Isgrove. He made that overlapping run. He went towards Platt. He holds it up. Is there a chance for their third? Big save. Samanaris. Denying Isgrove of his second and Hume's third. He's issued a yellow card. confusion surrounding why he was put into the book, but he pulled off a safe from the top shelf to perhaps keep Manningham with the door open of something that does look rather improbable. Hume can put this one well and truly to bed. They have a corner. Abdallah and Isgrove both amongst it. Brilliant ball in from Amar Abdallah, and the captain contributes. Josh Bingham in on the goal scoring party. Gets his third of the season. The Blues put this one to bed. Although they started brightly, Hume have come crashing out the gate at half-time. And you feel as if the 3 points are heading back to the West Meadows. As described throughout the duration of this contest, Abdallah's deliveries a lot more fruitful than what they were last week. As there's still a bit of time left, perhaps for Hume to continue raining goals in on United. Of course, if we look to next week, round 11 of the NPL season, Manningham are back at home. They're currently, there's a chance that opened up. Would have been his second of the afternoon. Theodorikopoulos didn't realise the time he had. Would have kept the door open perhaps for a crazy comeback. The net not bulging. But at the same time, next Saturday on the 27th of April, they do host Dandenong City. Two clubs which are, on paper, quite evenly matched. Dandy City currently in 7th place, Manningham in 9th. We'll see how that changes following next week. Samanaris picked up Turgid, who impeded the Kane. As for the away side, round 12 rather of the NPL season. And 11 rather. Apologies for the confusion there. Hume City are at home to Heidelberg United next Saturday night at the Hume City Stadium. What a matchup that's going to be. Last week they were kept scoreless. I want to perhaps continue their scoring abilities today, and they have a chance following the free kick, which Platt has earned for them. Right on the edge of the box. You got to fancy the chances of Amar Abdallah. He loves his situation. It was against Avondale at Hume City. He scored from a very similar position, which equalised that contest at that stage. Samanaris organising his wall. Nearly into stoppage time. Isgrove or Abdallah. They let fly towards goal, Abdallah. He couldn't keep it low. He loves trying to pick out the far corner, following a curling effort. There's Abdallah now on some defensive duties. He lofts towards Platt, who's there with Dufton, and he gets around him. Platt's in behind. Isgrove's an option. He went by himself. Samanaris frozen momentarily. That could have been their fourth. As we are into stoppage time. Unsure on how much we're going to have. We're awaiting Daniel Isaac's decision. This one nearly drawing to a close. As Abdallah crossed to a relatively empty box. Samanaris sending upfield. Ashcroft controlling. As this one looks to be closed out. The away side heading home to 3 points. One pass from Maricic to Bingham. You can tell they're just happy to lead out the clock and routinely close out the contest. Bingham draws a late foul and has a free kick. Sets us up nicely for the away side's home fixture next week. And it's going to be such an captivating contest between two very attacking, free-flowing teams. Meanwhile, Abdallah going around a few. Dufton in frustration clearing. Perhaps the final chance of the afternoon. Side in red to take it. They have a corner. Tallied a few of them this afternoon. There's a Ching, went to Abdallah. Bingham trying to capitalise upon a defensive mistake. Dufton running into space. It's a little bit uncertain on how much time left in this one. As McFarlane just not getting the rub of the green. Tsitsaris. Cutter. He was strong in midfield for United today. Overlapping run. Fine ball in. Maricic happy to keep it away. Now Isgrove wants to go and he's got options. Lloyd kept going. Abdallah. Rabona pass to Platt, who settles himself. He gets his feet right. This is Platt. That would have been the fourth. He just couldn't divert it into the bottom corner. He feels if this one was seconds away from being called, and right on cue was Michael Mannis to initiate full time here at Petty's Reserve. Despite the home side's valiant efforts in the first half and the lead they brought into the second through Christos Theodorakopoulos, Hume City came out the second half, grabbed an equaliser from Amar Abdallah, and the complexion of the contest flipped on its head right from the kickoff of that goal they scored. Vulgaris was initiated his marching orders. He was sent off. From there, Hume with the extra player used it to full fruition. Michael Platt with a couple of assists. Isgrove and Bingham on the score sheet following. They take the 3 points back to the West Meadows. The final score: Manningham United 1, Hume City 3. We thank you for joining us on the coverage via YouTube. We'll hope to join you yet again for more NPL clashes. Thank you and good night.